I was a pioneer of genetic research, manipulating DNA to save human lives. But in many, their genes unexpectedly mutated. They developed superhuman abilities. Four of the most powerful, I fight to protect a world that doesn't even know we exist. We are Mutant X.
Well, hello YouTube, and right, so how do we start? Well, time for another, I'll just let me get the camera right here, sorry about that. Right, it's time for another cancelled TV series review. Mutant X, it ran a few years back, about 2000, I think 2001, that's when I saw it. I remember because I was living in a certain place at the time, and about 2000 it was. And I sort of got it on Sky, watching it on Sky, and it ran for 3 seasons, and basically it's a rip-off at X-Men. Do you remember that awful film they made? Oh God, what were it? X for New Mutants or something, or X for... They made that awful, nasty film. I'm going to have to review that. I think it was called X-Force. Well, anyway, imagine that. And that were really bad. It was terrible, but that will leave that. I've actually got that DVD somewhere. But anyway, back to Mutant X. Mutant X was sort of like, it was really ripped off from X-Men. It was made by Firestone Entertainment, and there was a massive court case with Marvel and Fox, and then Fox sued Tribute. It were loads of it about copyright and all this. It were all settled out of court anyway. And Javier Red, I think he won at creators on this. Basically, it's about a geneticist called Adam Kane that worked with a guy called Mason Eckhart, who's the cheap rip-off of Andy Warhol. I mean, trust me, he is. And they did experiments for government and created mutants, you know. And you've got, like, elementals, you've got ferals, telepaths, and molecular density types, and they've all got these abilities based on like other things from nature and stuff. Like you've got Victor Brennan. What's his name? Brennan. Oh God, what was his name now? Brennan Mulray. He can fire electricity out of his hands. Shalimar Fox has got the part, like she's like got all these like abilities. Her eyes glow, she come like a tiger or something. She moves around like an animal. And you've got Emma, who's the telepath, she's like the heart of the group. And you've got Jesse, he's like the tech wizard. They've always got the standard tech wizard who's the nice guy. And you've got Adam who created it all, and they've got a secret. I mean, they've got a really cool lair in the mountain, which is hidden away, it's cloaked and stuff. I mean, you've got to give them this, they've got the lair, and they have a jet called the Helix, which can cloak itself. And in season 1, they're taking on Genome X, where Adam used to work, and he steals the database to protect all the other mutants that are out there, and find the other mutants, because they experiment on loads of kids and people and that, and they've all got these abilities. And every episode each week there's some scenario going on where they're like, there's one or two that have gone off the rails, Genome X is after them, and you know they're battling it out. And season 1 it goes into this like 20 odd episodes of this every week, and then like there's Eckhart, he wants the database back because he's wearing like this artificial skin because something happened to him where he blames Adam for his immune system being affected because something happened to him. And it's like every week there's this battle. There's this story arc between Adam and Eckhart going on. And then we get to the final episode of season 1 where there's a big battle. Mutant X destroyed the place. And Ashlock wakes up. He's like the predicted. He's got the power of all the mutants. And I suppose like the equivalent of a Magneto type or an Apocalypse type character. Well, a lot of the mutants, he's got the powers of every one of them, like ferals, elementals, molecular density. He's more like the top one with these powers. But the thing is, so powerful, he's actually going to die. So he's being put in suspended animation, but he's a bit ratchet in head. You know, do you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, we're going to season 2. But back to season 1, I mean, you know, the thing is with Mutant X, it's designed to appeal to a certain audience. I think I was at an age where you appreciate it. Everybody's really bloody good looking. I mean, they are. I mean, Victoria Pratt, I mean, she's stunning. And then you got her, Emma, lovely. I mean, you know, in fact, everybody's super good looking. They all could be models. But it's the world of comics, and this is what you get. And even Eckhart has the Andy Warhol rip-off, which he's just so cheesy as a baddie. It's ridiculous. But every week he has all these mutants that work for him. They've got these control things at the back of the neck, how he keeps control of them all. But they bring it down, and Ashlock awakes, and then Traps puts Eckhart in suspended animation and takes over GeneMX, which is meant to be, it's like an independent, it's like the NSA or something, or CIA. It's like this dodgy agency, a genetic mutant agency or something, I don't know. It's really quite cheesy. So they defeat that and we move on. There's a cliffhanger at end of you know, every season. And then we get into season 2 with Ashlock and all this. And there's a big battle going on, and then we get, oh yeah, there's aliens turn up as well. They're on Earth hunting down. I think they were in season 1 with aliens actually. They're only in it for 1 episode, but they come to Earth to take the DNA of the new mutants because they feed on it. It's like they can sell it for a fortune. So you got interstellar drug dealers. Now, if I remember his not too right, I think Ashlock dominates quite a lot of second season, but there's sort of a conspiracy thing going on as well. And anyway, the battle Ashlock, and I think he dies, and that's it really. And like there's like this cult of like there's the baby Ashlock that gets created, and he's the second coming of Ashlock, and there's the links that worship him and all this. But there's a big twist where some of them break off and take the baby off to make it good, you know, to be better in the world. They vanish. I mean, there's a lot going on, but I mean, the character development is quite good because you do jump into certain parts of the past, you know, like with like Shalimar, and you know, it seems to focus quite a lot more on Victoria Pratt's character and Victor, you know, Brendan Mulray. They seem to get a lot more airtime. What I saw of it now, Adam Kane is an interesting character. He's like the Professor X of it all. Do you know what I mean? He's sort of quite interesting how he's like this genius, and he's one of the most intelligent people in the world, and his science and technology is just decades ahead of everybody else. I mean, these guys have all the latest technology and the latest fashion in clothes. I don't know where he gets his money to finance this whole entire operation, but you're talking, it's almost been hundreds of millions, but they manage. And then we lose one of them. We lose Emma, the telepath, at end of season 2. And she's like, there's a big battle in this building, and some building blows up, and she's clinging on for life, and they're trying to save her, and the building collapses, and she dies, and it finishes. That's the end of season 2. I mean, you did get like these cliffhangers, and they lost a member, so like we're going into aftermath of all this, and then we jump to season 3. I mean, I think season 1 were a lot better than season 2. I know whether we're going with season 2, but I didn't really get into the old Ashlock thing. You were a bit like one-dimensional. There's some good episodes in season 2, don't get me wrong, you know, where you can think, yeah, that were interesting. It's like where like they find a town and it's cloaked by this like crazy computer system, and you know, Brendan ends up in there, but this force field like blocks his signals in his brain, so he can't use his abilities. And these people in this town have been like stuck in 50s, you know, and nobody knows they exist because they've been phased out of existence. And he ends up there. It's like you enter it through like weather or something, and he's in there, and he brings down the force field, and they're revealed to the world. You know what I mean? Because they want to like maintain this life. There's like a few weird episodes where it takes you off the tracks, where you're dealing with some pretty weird shit, and that's what I liked about this. They're the episodes I've sort of liked. I mean, the story arcs like season 1 were okay. But season 2, I don't think they knew what they were going to do, especially after the Ashlock thing, and it went off somewhere else. Jesse Kilmine, he's like the standard Mr. Nice Guy, and you know, he's really good on computers, fucking genius, and he can, you know, you give him a piece of toilet roll and he can act the Pentagon with it. That's how cheesy it is. And, you know, Emma, she was lovely. She's like the heart. She's like she feels, and she's an empath and all this. And then there's Adam Kane with all his dodgy secrets, because there's so much going on with this dude. So we leave it on that way, Emma's death, and they fly back to Lair, you know, going into season 3. And some protocols being activated. In comes Lexa, the new one. She can fire laser beams from her hands and become invisible. I think she can do something else. So she's been contacted by this guy from an organisation called the Dominion, and Adam's disappeared because these people are after him. And he said compared to Ashlock, he leaves a message for him, compared to Ashlock and Mutant X, these people are nothing. Everything you've faced up until now is, you know, nothing compared to Dominion. They're basically like running, they're so high up and they're in secret places. And we start digging around on this big conspiracy, and Adam turns up the odd episode because they're looking for him. And they're dealing with Dominion, and they're being manipulated. And Lexa got some kind of dodgy past with them, and they've sort of got a bit of control over her. Well, we jump through one episode after another. I mean, I wasn't that impressed with season 3. We're alright, it sort of stuttered along. You did get the odd interesting story, but character development between these guys, I can't knock it, has been quite good. You know, like, I mean, they are a bit perfect, which sort of annoys you. I know they tried to bring a bit of pain and how close they are. They tried to get that in, but it's not like Odyssey 5 and stuff like that from that time frame where, you know, where you're dealing with proper character development. But I'm not going to knock Mutant X because they sort of did enjoy its run. And we got to end of season 3, and it's quite a kicker actually, because I think the final episode is sort of quite interesting. Lexa breaks the chains with Dominion because they all get caught because the mountain gets stormed, the lair, and it gets destroyed, all helicopters going around it. And they escape at Helix, and they find Adam at this secret base. It's always the secret base. And they're going to destroy it and all this. So they end up in this room to fight leader at Dominion, and guess who it is? It's Adam, the original Adam Kane. And it all comes out that he cloned him to do something for him, to cure him or something, you know, that he's created him, and he can't handle it. And that's where it sort of finishes, where like Adam Kane, the genius we knew, was sent on this mission to do all what we've seen, to sort of like end up meeting old Adam Kane, who's the head of the Dominion, who's been the big bad in the background all along, is himself, and he's freaking out, and they're all there, and that's where it finishes. And that's it, do you know what I mean? And we got left on the cliffhanger because Trip Firestars, the company that were producing these, it went bankrupt. This were at a time with Andromeda, because they all came from the same sort of company. And that's how Mutant X finished. I mean, it was a bit of a pisser because I would have liked to have seen season 4 to see where it would have gone with the evil Adam and John Shee as, you know, Adam Kane. But yeah, I sat through quite a bit of it to catch up on this. Do you know what I mean? I did miss one or two episodes. I was getting bored in certain parts of this series. Maybe it's sort of, well, I don't. It's sort of dated, but it ain't. Do you know what I mean? I mean, but it's, look, if you're into it, this program is of its time. Cool teenagers, cool young people, and they're all quite wise, and you know, the years ahead of like somebody who's 40. And this is where we're going with it, the whole Mutant X thing. That, you know, they've all got these dark pasts, all of them. I mean, in the first episode, I mean, what makes it cool? I mean, the first episode is quite cool. Because, like, with Brendan Mulray's one of my favourite, I suppose he was like the favourite character for me. And he's like going around robbing banks with his electrical powers, and he gets recruited. And you get the backstory of the other characters, do you know what I mean? Like Jesse's character, his family are quite well off apparently, because they're going to that. Then there's Shalimar, who were like living as a wild animal till Adam found her and tamed her and civilised her and gave her a family. And then there's Emma, who's been like using her abilities and all this. Like but Gina Max is after it first episode, which this is sort of brings them all together, led by Adam, who's our Professor X, and that's it. I mean, it's of its time, but a fourth season would have been very worthy to finish it off. It was unfair to leave it on a cliffhanger because the series was doing quite well apparently. You know, I think like because the X-Men were big at the time in the comics. And I think with this, it picked up quite well. Do you know what I mean? It sort of translated to a lot of X-Men fans. I remember I was buying a lot of Chris Claremont X-Men stuff and other comics at the time. And it was like, you got to look into that sort of world, even though it was quite cool. You know, I think deep down we all like to be like that, you know. But it was a cool programme for its time. I'm not going to knock Mutant X. There is some very good episodes, and for me to cover the whole thing, I'd be on here for a good 2 hours, and I don't want to do that. But I do, if you've not seen this, it's on Amazon, and there is the odd episode on YouTube, but if you've got Amazon Prime, I'd watch it on there. It was very hard. It came out on VHS in the UK. And I think we got season 1 DVD, because I would have to season 2 and 3 on DVD, and I could never get it. I actually had to get it from America. I had to order it, but I ended up getting European copies, you know. So, which was quite annoying. Do you know what I mean? So, like, seeing it again, I have enjoyed it. I mean, I took my time. I've done about 2-3 episodes every couple of days. But back in the day, I would have consumed this over a weekend and really enjoyed it on DVD. Like I said, it is of its time, and you do pick up on that quite strong. But if you're a fan and you like X-Men, you're going to enjoy this. It's like a cheesy spin-off. Class it as an alternative universe. And I'll tell you something, each season delivers a beautiful cliffhanger. And that's the good thing about this, and it's nice to see that. You don't get that as much now. But with this, you did. And especially the season 3 cliffhanger is a bit of an headbanger. And, you know, I think that gives its redeeming quality. Mutant X should have got a season 4, and you know where it could have gone with season 4. I think after season 4, cancel it. I think, yeah, and I don't think there would have been any life after season 4. But I think it should have been finished. They owed the fan base that. But obviously there was problems, you know what I mean? So that's it. So that's my feelings of Mutant X. I do recommend you should try Mutant X. I really do. Great characters. It's a cool thing from the past. I mean, it must be, what, 19 years, 16 years old now. I think it was 2000 it come out. So, I mean, it's over a decade old. And it's, you know, it's one of life's little pleasures. I do recommend it. So that's my review of Mutant X 1 to 3. If I've got anything wrong in this, because like I've had, you know, them point it out to me, but I've just gone with what I've seen so far. But like I said, if you want to get into this, I do recommend it. I just love cancelled television series. I've got a thing for them. I actually go down and try to buy them up on DVD, even if it's just 1 or 2 seasons, because I think somehow they've got to be appreciated, because there is some of them out there which had potential and are great classics, like Odyssey 5, which I always believe should have got a season 2. You know, what a fantastic, beautiful series. So I'm going to put Mutant X down as a classic. You know, it is a classic, and, you know, give it a chance. So the next cancelled television series review in what is Martin's cancelled television series, I'm going to find a name, is Sliders. Yes, Sliders, and I am looking forward to watching all the seasons, and I do have it all. So I'm starting tomorrow night on a couple of episodes tonight, and I will have it up in a couple of weeks. But that was Mutant X. I will really go into Sliders. I am a massive fan. So guys, please, you know, I'm going to say it, subscribe down there. Press the notification bell up there. Guys, I will be on live tomorrow at 7 o'clock. I look forward to discussing Mutant X and all the other cancelled stuff, which, I mean, you know, went into Remo last week. It was awesome. So, guys, definitely 7 o'clock tomorrow. Have a great evening, guys. God, it must be nearly 11 o'clock. I've just finished it now. I've just got through Mutant X. So I will see you soon, guys. Have a great evening. Speak soon.